This is Mark Scheinbaum, United Press International Television. Mark Scheinbaum, UPITN in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm here on busy US 1 where some 40-odd Vietnam veterans against the war have been marching from Fort Pierce en route to Miami Beach and the Republican National Convention. It's a march of about 135 miles, and they've had some problems with irate motorists and some problems with people who agree with the Nixon war policies, but mostly it's been a peaceful march, and the motorists don't seem to be bothered by their makeshift bus. And let's take it over again. This is Mark Scheinbaum, UPITN in Fort Lauderdale. I'm here along busy US Highway 1 in Fort Lauderdale, where about 40 Vietnam veterans against the war are marching to Miami Beach at next week's Republican National Convention. They've been marching from Fort Pierce, Florida, about 135 miles away, and aside from some minor incidents involving irate motorists, it's been a quiet time and a quiet march for them, with their own bus and their own first aid equipment and their own food. We spoke with some of the young members of the anti-war group, and here's what they had to say. All right, we will insert the interviews here and we'll close out. And that's the view of the vvaw, the members of the Vietnam Veterans Against the War, who plan anti-war demonstrations and plan to explain their cause to the people on Miami Beach next week. Mark Scheinbaum, UPITN, in Fort Lauderdale. Rolling with William Wagner, one of the vvaw members. William, where are you from?
I'm from Wisconsin, Shawano. Little town 35 miles west of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Have you been marching all the way from Fort Pierce with the group?
Me and a friend of mine, he's a veteran, Vietnam veteran. We were hitchhiking, and we decided that we'd join their march all the way to Miami from Fort Lauderdale, I think it was.
What do you think the purpose is of the march when you get to Miami Beach?
I believe that it will wake some people up to the fact that there's genocide going on in this world. People killing other people for profit and not for moral reasons, as other wars have been.
Do you think the irate motorists have bothered you at all? You've been getting some shouts and some pro-war slogans, I hear. Has this bothered you at all?
No, it doesn't bother us at all. We just understand the attitudes a lot of people have, because they're in it for money, you know, and they can't understand anybody taking it to heart that somebody else is dying for no cause.
All right, thank you very much. We've been talking with Bill Wagner of the Vietnam Veterans Against the War. Mark Scheinbaum, UPITN, Fort Lauderdale. We're with 3, 2, 1. We're talking with Tim Moore of the Vietnam Veterans Against the War from Tampa. Tim, how's the march going from Fort Pierce as of now?
Well, we've had a lot of cooperation with the local people, and it's been a joyous experience with a lot of solidarity from the communities. With the exception of a few officials, we've had a lot of solidarity and a lot of cooperation. I think a change is coming in the country. I think that people are finally realizing that America is in a distressful position. We find ourselves involved in the extermination of masses of people and by our country. And people are realizing this and realizing that it is important to know that you're right, you know, and right should always come before might, and they're finding that out. Something's going to have to be done about it, and I think it may be done this November, hopefully.
What's going to happen once you get down to Miami Beach? Will you be joining the protesters at Flamingo Park at a campsite?
Yes, we will be joining up with the protesters at Flamingo Park and engaging in creative, nonviolent protest. We can only do the best we can, because it's a critical situation, like I say, and people are willing to work and willing to walk down a hot August road in Florida. It is hot. People have bad feet. We have people falling out every day. 5 or 6 people fall out with bad feet. One guy has an infection in his feet, and it's just we have to do something. This is the only thing that we could come up with, to people to watch us and wonder why, you know, young boys, instead of going out partying, will be walking down a hot August road, and it's because we feel that something has to be done right away.
How many marches do you have, and how many miles have you been able to make every day?
We've been averaging about 15 miles a day. Day before yesterday we went 17 miles. Yesterday we went about 9 miles. we've averaged about 50 marchers all the way through, and I imagine it's going to start growing now that we are in the built-up area of Fort Lauderdale, and it's a weekend coming on too, so people can leave their jobs and march with us. We welcome people to come with us as long as they accept our philosophy of non-violent direct action.
What have you been doing about food and lodging? You have everything you need right here on your VVAW bus?
It has come out of people's pockets, people that are willing to share with other brothers and sisters, and we've been having some hobo stew every night.
I see you're sweating a little bit. How's it been on you physically?
I'll make it. I'll make it.
Thank you very much. We've been talking with Tim Moore, the Chief Road Guard and the leader of this group of Vietnam veterans who are marching 135 miles from Fort Pierce, Florida, down to Miami Beach and the GOP Convention Hall. This is Mark Scheinbaum in Fort Lauderdale for UPI-TN.
Murder for profit, and racist genocide in Southeast Asia. Every minute, 2 tons of bombs are dropped on the people of Southeast Asia. These bombs are bought with your tax money. It is being done for profit. This country is involved in the extermination of the yellow people. It is involved in the extermination of the yellow people. It is...
Peace, brother.
Right on, brother.
Brothers and sisters, we're asking you to join us on a march.
Right on, brother.